Good day, my non-diet colleagues. I hope you're having a good morning or afternoon, or maybe it's the evening and it's a totally different day than when I'm doing this live, but thank you for watching. All right, so you all may have seen, I know this is videos being done mid-April-ish 2019, and you may have seen the big thing happening around all the Instagram stuff and people trying to educate maybe not as friendly towards the idea of privilege folks as we are in terms of discussing it and looking at it and inquiring about it, at least in ourselves and our practices. So I just want to say a quick little video around from a counseling skills perspective, whether that's in your office or when you're marketing or however you're doing it, is I always try to get right out in front of it. So I would say if you've watched any of my videos I do on my other page, towards more clients, and of course it's good for everybody. I mean, it's not like exclusive to that. But so what I'm noticing, what I do, honestly, I just get out in front of it. I talk about, especially when I talk about body image, I really talk about the diversity of experiences right off the bat. That somebody recovering from diet culture stuff or disordered eating in a smaller body is going to have a little one notch less of struggle around recovery in some instances. That's just kind of how it is. I knew the probability when I was in recovery of recovering in a larger body was pretty small. Looking at like 3/4 of my family are in very, 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 very short, smallish bodies. There were there was like 1/4 of the family that's smaller and rounder, and the other 3/4 of the family, if I included everybody on both sides, they're small and round, and they're short and round, and they're short and small. Probability of me being in a larger body wasn't high. Of course, medical things happen, depending how long your body is in chronic shutdown or bouncing too much in fight or flight. That definitely can impact metabolic stuff. So anyway, I'm going inside because my dog's barking. Sorry about that. Just want to put that out there to you, is that anyway, if you are in that situation where you've not really experienced being in a larger body, then it's going to be really important for you to know that your experience isn't going to be what maybe some of your clients go through. And so getting out in front of that really quickly, especially if you work with people in larger bodies, is vital. That's something I've always done, and I think I learned those thin privilege things really early on when I first went to treatment, because somehow I went to treatment with people that weren't in smaller bodies. I was like the only small-bodied person, and I don't think that's the norm, but that's what my experience was. So I learned really quickly, like, it's going to be really offensive for me to sit here and constantly talk about how much I'm afraid to gain weight, because here are people in bodies who have average size bodies, larger size bodies, and I'm afraid of getting to where they are, and they're already afraid of being where they are and not being accepted or being larger. This isn't gonna fly, and to expect for me to I had to look at I had to do all my own work, but I could do that in private. I didn't have to do that in a group setting. And so I think that's really important as non-diet practitioners, that we know our privileges and all they are, and get in front of that when we need to. And that just makes it so much easier for people to understand pretty quickly that we aren't blind to other people's circumstances. So I just want to make it a really quick little thing. If you are a practitioner and you're in a more standard sized body or even a larger sized body, that is one of those things that you're kind of a role model, honestly, for your clients that are afraid of being in the bodies they are, living in this world, in this culture. And so use that to help them to know that, like, hey, I'm a couple steps ahead of you, and we're all kind of doing this together. And that's a good place for really some healthy self-disclosure and just being real with people. So anyway, I know that we all have our own ways of being advocates out there in the world for ourselves and for our families and for just people in bodies, that we want all people to be respected. So you do it in your way. I know not everybody's going to be watchdogs for everything, and that's okay. But just please, please, if you're watching this and you're not like actively, putting your 2 cents in on different posts, that kind of helps point out where things are being, the non-diet approach is being co-opted, that you're doing it in your way and in a way that you're building yourself up to doing. Because what I know is this from reports from my clients is that they trust me because I'm willing to speak out about that in the ways that I do it, and that I'm just like hold the line consistent. And if you can do that, whether it's more broadly seen or you're doing it in your sphere, then you don't need to be worrying about, am I doing it good enough? Because I think sometimes we see what other people are doing and compare ourselves. And it's like, you do your thing, be aware of your privileges, speak it out before you even get going. Like if you guys haven't seen the most recent podcast I did with Dietitians Unplugged, I mean, I kind of put it out there within, I know the first half of the talk about like body image issues, that like being in a larger body is way more of like another level of stressor that our systems have to navigate. And and it immediately, when you do that, there was this sense of like, okay, she knows it, she gets it, we can trust her. And that's really important because we all are on actually the same side. So, all right, y'all, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about this topic, we can do a thread here if you like. But just know I'm here to answer questions about that. So thank you so much and take care.